Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. The broker I trade is Quotex. It's the best broker you can find. The registration link is available in the description box, so let's trade. Today we will trade using the Parabolic Sar indicator. This indicator belongs to the group of trend indicators. It is designed to suggest exit points from a position. Also, this indicator suggests which trends prevail in the market. The indicator helps to identify trend reversal points and also helps to determine further price movement. Be sure to watch this video till the end. I think that in today's trading we will meet all these situations. So let's get started and turn on this indicator. Click this button in the lower left corner. A list of indicators has been opened in front of us. Select Parabolic Sar from the list. I leave settings by default. We can make our indicator a little bit bigger. Also, if you want, you can choose any other color. Thus, we have this indicator on the chart. What is a signal to open a deal? The signal is the moment when, for example, dots begin to appear on top of our chart. This tells us that downside movement is expected in the near future. Also, the greater the distance between the points, it tells us about the power of the upcoming movement. Also, when the points come close to the candles, it also signals an imminent trend reversal. Similarly, the indicator works in the opposite direction. When the dots appear at the bottom of our graph, it tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. A deal can be opened when the points are just beginning to appear, but also when a certain number of these points have already appeared. Each situation is considered individually. Also, don't forget that this indicator, like any other indicator, is just an auxiliary tool of technical analysis. Therefore, first of all, we conduct a technical analysis, pay attention to the support and resistance levels, and only then pay attention to the hints of this indicator. Of course, you should not trust the indicator alone. After all, the Parabolic Sar indicator, like any other indicator, has its own errors. Let's get started and consider the first situation in the market. Here we see the resistance level. We also see that there was a good impulse upside movement here. Also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. Since the dots have appeared and have been coming from the bottom of our chart for some time, I think that in this situation the resistance level will be broken in the next 2 minutes. Since the price has already approached this level for the second time in the last 10 minutes with fairly good confident impulse candles. There is a certain compression, there was also a slight pullback down, and just at this very point we open a deal to increase. Also, the price here has a good potential to increase. With a higher probability, this level will be broken. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, not bad guys. The price really continued its upside movement and this level was broken. We get profit. Also, the indicator in turn helped us to determine the further price movement and suggested us a good entry point. Not a bad start. Let's continue to look for a similar situation in the market. Here we see the support level. We also see that at the moment there is a downtrend from the downtrend line. The price continues its downside movement. There is a certain compression. I also pay attention to our indicator. We also see that two dots have already appeared above our chart. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for 3 minutes to decrease. I think that in the near future the price will continue its downside movement to the support level, and in this situation 3 minutes will be quite enough for us. 3 minutes to spare, taking into account that a certain approach trade may occur or a small pullback up possible. After the downside movement will probably continue as the price highs are getting also lower. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, it's not bad. The price continued its downside movement and we get profit. The indicator also helped to determine the further price movement and show the good entry point. Let's continue to consider the following market situation. Here we see the resistance level. We also see that the price pulled back a good impulse red candle from this level. After that, there was a reversal and the price continues its upside movement. I also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 3 minutes to increase. I think that in the near future the price will continue its movement to the resistance level, because after an impulse drop down, the price is again trying to return to the previous range. Also recently the price has a good potential to increase. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Excellent guys, the price continued its upside movement, this level was broken. We get a great profit. The indicator also helped us to determine a good entry point. We also see that the distance between the candles was getting larger, which means that a good confident upside movement was coming. Let's continue and find the next entry point. Here we see the resistance level. We also see that there was a reversal from this point. The price moves quite impulsively. There is also a slight pullback down. Just at the moment there has been another pullback down. In this situation I propose to open a deal for an increase. Let's go with a margin of 5 minutes. I think that in the near future the price will still continue its upside movement to the resistance level, because the price also has a good potential to increase. We also see that the several points have already appeared at the bottom of our chart, which in turn tells us that the upside movement is expected. 5 minutes also with a margin taking into account that a certain pro trade may occur. So guys, let's wait for them to follow deal. Quite well guys, the price really continued its upside movement to the resistance level. We get a profit. Also, the indicator gave us a good entry point. So far, everything is going well. Let's continue. Here we also see that there was a good downside movement. The price touched the support level, there was an upside pullback. Also after the pullback up, the price continued its movement to this level again. I also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that there is an entry point. I think that the support level will be broken in the near future, since the price here also has a good potential for a decline. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for a decrease of 2 minutes. I think that this time will be quite enough. So guys, let's wait for them to follow deal. Well, it's not bad guys. The price continued its downside movement, this level was broken. We managed to close our deal in profit, even though there was an upside pullback after the breakout. The indicator also gave us a good entry point and helped us to determine the further price movement. Perhaps in this situation 1 minute would have been enough for us, but I opened a deal for 2 with a margin. But in any case, that was enough time for us. Well, let's continue consider the following market situation. So guys, we are on the same currency pair after a while. The price continued the downside movement and approached the next support level, and at the moment there is a compression of this level. The indicator also tells us that the downside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation I propose to open a deal for a decrease of 2 minutes. I think that very soon this level will be broken. Since there is a good confident downtrend, the price highs are getting lower and there is a certain compression of the next level. The price also has a good potential for a decline, with a higher probability that this level will still be broken. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. So guys, rather a dangerous moment, but we still get a profit. As you can see, after pro trade, the downside movement continued and even a false breakout occurred. The price pulled back up with an impulse, but we still managed to close our deal in profit. 2 minutes was just enough. The indicator also suggested an upcoming downside price movement. This is a market and situations are different. It needs to be understood. Sometimes deals come in more confident, sometimes less confident. In any case, we minimize our risks. Let's continue and consider the full market situation. Here we see the level of support, and we also see that there was a good and confident downtrend. Touching the level, the price pulled back up and now it's moving back to our level. I also draw your attention to the fact that our indicator tells us that there is an entry point. In this situation, it's just opening a deal for 3 minutes to decrease. I think in the near future the price will continue its movement to the support level. It is also possible that it will be breached, since the price has been approaching this level for the last 10 minutes quite confidently. There is a kind of compression, also the price has a good potential for a decrease. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Quite well, the price continued its downside movement with an impulse and this level was broken. Also, this indicator helped us to determine a good entry point and prompted us to further price movement. Everything is going great, let's continue. Here we see the resistance level. We also see that the price moved quite confidently, impulsively to our level. At the moment, there is some kind of compression. I also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 2 minutes to increase. Right now, you can see that the price is already starting to break through the resistance level. Since the price has a good potential for an increase, I think it will happen in the next 2 minutes. Guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Not bad. The price has broken through this level and we managed to close our deal in profit. Also, after breaking through the level, there was a logical pullback down, after which the upside movement continued. The indicator also suggested us a good entry point. Let's continue and consider the following market situation. Here we see the resistance level. We also see that there was a good uptrend. The price touched the resistance level. There was a logical pullback down to the uptrend line, from which upside movement continues again. Also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that there is an entry point. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for an increase. We will enter for 3 minutes. I think that the price will continue its movement to the resistance level because there is an upside movement and the price lows are also getting higher. There is a certain compression and the price is more likely to continue its upside movement. And it is possible that this level will be broken. Let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, that's pretty good, guys. The price continued its upside movement even though there was a slight pullback down to the uptrend line, from which the price pushed off and confidently went higher. Even a false breakout of the resistance level occurred. The indicator also helped us to determine a good entry point. Let's continue and consider the following market situation. There is a support level at the bottom here, and we also see there was an upside pullback from this level. At the moment, the price is moving down impulsively. I also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that there is an entry point and a downside movement is expected in the near future. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for 2 minutes to decrease. I think that in the near future, the price will continue its downside movement. 2 minutes is also with margin. Take into account that some kind of pro-trading may occur and a small pullback up is possible, after which the downside movement will certainly continue since the price has a good potential for a decline. Let's wait for the end of our deal. Not bad. After the pullback up, the downside movement continued. We managed to close our deal in profit. 2 minutes was just enough. The indicator also suggested further price movement, and so far everything is going well. Let's continue and consider the following market situation. Here we see the level of support. We also see that the price touched this level, after which there was a pullback up and the price approached our level again. Also pay attention to our indicator. It suggests us that there is an entry point. There is some kind of compression. I think that in the near future this level will be broken through. I suggest open a deal for 2 minutes to decrease. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Great, guys! The price is sure to continue its downside movement. This level has been broken. We get a great profit. The indicator also helped us to determine the further price movement and suggested us a good entry point. Let's continue to consider the following market situation. Here we see the resistance level, and we also see that at the moment there is a certain compression of our level. Also pay attention to our indicator. It tells us that an upside movement is expected in the near future. Now there has been a pullback down and this is a good point to open a deal for an increase. Let's enter for 2 minutes. I think that in this situation this time will be quite enough and in the near future the price will continue its upside movement. It is also possible that this level will be broken. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, great guys, the price continued its upside movement and we get profit. The indicator also suggested us a good entry point. Let's continue to consider the following market situation. Here we see the level of support. We also see that at the moment there is a downside movement. I also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that the downside movement is expected. In this situation, I propose to open a deal for a decrease of 2 minutes. I think that in the near future the price will continue its downside movement to the support level, because the price has a good potential for a decline, since there is a downtrend and the price highs and price lows are getting lower. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, great guys, the price continued its downside movement and we get profit. 2 minutes was enough. The indicator also suggested further price movement and helped determine a good entry point. Let's continue and open the last deal for today. There is a support level at the bottom here, and we also see that there is a good downtrend going at the moment. Price highs are getting lower. I also pay attention to our indicator, which tells us that there is an entry point for a decline. In this situation, I suggest opening a deal for 3 minutes to decrease. The price is just pulling back from the downtrend line. I think that in the near future, the price will continue its movement to the support level, since the price has a good potential for a decline. So guys, let's wait for the end of our deal. Well, great guys, the price continued its downside movement and this level was broken. We get a great profit. 3 minutes was enough. The indicator also suggested us a good entry point and helped to determine the further price movement. I already have $8,000 on my deposit. I propose to end this because I have fulfilled the plan for today. All market situations worked out perfectly and the indicator helped us to determine the further price move and suggested good pivot points. So guys, that's it for today. I am really grateful if you watched this video till the end. The link of the broker on which I traded today will be in the description box, so check it out and I will see you next time.